Good morning, my name is Dave. I am doing this mental health video on hashtag #WeAreAllDave for the podcast guys 50 Shades of Dave. That's a lot of Daves, and I'm one of them. Ironically, I'm actually watching TV on the TV channel Dave. 4 Daves, eh? One video. So, let's get back to the seriousness of us. The reason I'm doing this video is because I suffer from depression and anxiety. I'm a stand-up comedian, public speaker, and customer service guru, but also I'm a mental health advocate where I do my own videos as well, which are easily found on YouTube. I was first diagnosed with depression in 2006. I declined medication. I had a doctor's appointment and he told me about depression. This appointment lasted about 15 minutes, so obviously he was running late, and he offered me medication and I turned it down. I'm on enough medication as it is. He put his hand on my knee because I was just sitting there. I didn't look at him once in the face, in the eyes. I just looked down, and every time I was talking, I was like, I was basically mumbling, but he understood what I was saying. The funny thing is that when he put his hand on my knee, he squeezed my knee in sort of a reassuring manner, and then brilliantly said, "I can tell that you are a sad man." Now, the comedian inside of me is thinking, sad man as in boo-hoo sad, or sad as in wearing Crocs with socks, or socks with Crocs, whichever way you want to do that. And he just looked at me and he said, "You have depression." So I'm just going to move around. And so I just got on with it. I was in a relationship. That person didn't know, and they do now, because I do my own videos, and they found out a couple of weeks ago. But in 2015, everything escalated. Now, depression doesn't just disappear. Depression can fester in you. You may not feel any symptoms for days, weeks, months, even maybe years, but it will still always be there. In 2015, everything just went wrong. I had a heart operation to rectify an issue that I had with my heart. That failed, and that was in mid-2014. I had to move closer to my cardiologist and back with my family because I was living in South Wales at the time, and it was very hard for me. It was very hard for me to get that sorted. And the sort of change of circumstances where I had freedom, where living on my own, I was able to make my own rules, eat when I wanted. So excuse me. Back to the parents, where the rules were, basically it was like living in a convent. I went to see the doctor, and he referred me. Said, "Look, you need to see a specialist." So okay. So he referred me. Within a couple of days, I actually had a referral appointment. I went to that appointment, and I saw another doctor who specialised in mental health issues. And basically, I spoke to him for about a good half an hour about everything. He kept offering me tissues, but I didn't need them, thankfully. But he got to the point where he said, "I'm just going to have to bring in another colleague." Now, that sort of thing I don't like, because it means that I've got to either retell my whole story again, or I've got to, I've got to sort of go somewhere. And this woman came in, she had a clipboard, and I started to panic inside. I didn't show it outside. I was just like, "Oh yeah, you're right." She'd been listening in, and she told me that I definitely had anxiety and depression. and that my anxiety is now controlling my depression, because anxiety is currently taking over my life. So once again, I was offered medication, turned that down, because I was on even more medication than I was back in 2006. But I was offered counselling, and I thought, yeah, I'll take counselling. So I was offered either 6 one-hour sessions or 12 half-hour sessions, and it was all on the NHS. So I went with the hour, because I thought, well, I'm going to travel there. I'm not just going to get there, sit down, talk for 5 minutes, and come back. So, excuse me, I do apologise. So I took the 1 hour sessions, spoke to the counsellor, had a really good time. On session 6, we were to the point where we were actually calling each other by our first names, which we were supposed to do, but obviously when you meet a counsellor, you're like, yes, okay, yeah, I'll do, I'll talk about that. But this time I walked in, hiya, you're right. I can't remember her name now, it's really bad. And she said, oh, you seem a lot better. And I was like, well, there's still some issues, but talking to you has actually made it feel even better. And she actually wanted to continue the sessions after session 6, but I couldn't afford it at the time. I was unemployed. As I say, I was just about to start a job actually, but I didn't know when I would earn a month after everything, or have left over a month after my bills, paying my mum and dad rent and things like this. So fast track now, 2019, I am living on my own. I had to move back to South Wales, I had to move back again, had corrective surgery on my heart with SVT. That worked too well, because I now have a pacemaker, but my depression and anxiety are at an all-time high. I still perform comedy, so that release valve is there. I'm doing my own videos, but I'm struggling at the moment a lot. I'm struggling to sort of justify leaving the house, I'm struggling to justify doing housework, and that's because in my head it's like, you don't need to do this, we're just going to sit here, we're going to watch TV, even if there's nothing on, you're just going to find something to watch, and you can do whatever you want to do. So that's me. I hope you enjoyed. Apologise for the really poorly done beard there. See some bits there, some bits there. I'm just going to go back and do them now. A bit here, I didn't realise that. But thank you very much for your time. And once again, hashtag, that's right, we are all Dave. Thank you very much. Bye bye.